All right, everybody get up. Everybody stand up. Everybody put their right hand in their air up like this, right, and their left hand down here, and shake it. Go like this, shake both your hands. And I want you to make this sound. I want you to go, yo. Yo. Go ahead. Yo. I know it feels weird, but go, yo. Keep doing it. And when I slam my hands together, we're going to say yes. Go ahead. Oh, yes! Wait, do it again. Oh, yes! Do it again. Oh, yes! Do it again. Oh, yes, 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 yes. Now high five somebody not at your table. High five. All right, in honor of Troy Turbo Spring, and I stole from Tony Robbins, our physiology affects our psychology, which determines our actions. In other words, how we move ourselves, how we move around the world, our physiology affects how we think, which affects our actions. About an hour ago, I'm having a little back issue right now, so my physiology is not all that great. So I had Michael Cirillo is a drug dealer from Canada, and he gave me. So I texted him and said I had some drugs.
And this is broadcasting.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, Periscope. Sorry. So my physiology was a little screwed up, and I know that I can't think right if my physiology is screwed up. So therefore, then my actions would be screwed up. I think it's important that we remember that when we go back to our dealerships, that our physiology is important, is it not? Yes or no? Say yes.
Yes.
All right. So cheesesteaks, you know, the Roach Coach in the morning at 11:30. Roach Coach is here, right? And everything stops, and we eat that, and we're all dead, and we're all messed up by 11:30, 12 o'clock, and in the the cheesesteak coma. That affects your physiology, which affects the way you think. It affects the actions with your customers. Would you guys agree with that? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. All right. Very good. My name is Craig Locker. Just a little validation on who I am and so forth. I've been in the automobile business, if I make it to June, 43 years. I started on the floor when I was 9 years old. I've had the blessing of being the CEO of AutoMax Recruiting and Training for 17 years this past November. I'm also the vice president of a company called Recruitment HQ. We have held the information that you're about to see has been compiled over the last 17 and a half years, nearly 15,000 recruiting, staffing, and training campaigns that we've done in the U.S., Canada, and Puerto Rico, and we've placed over 150,000 men and women in the automobile business over that period of time. So we're just starting to figure this stuff out. So, and that's where most of this stuff is going to come from. So I think the title's kind of tricky, huh? That's kind of cute copywriting, right? Did you hire him dead, or did you kill him after you got him? The them is cut off on the screen. Did you hire him dead, or did you kill him after you got him? When we've made a decision to hire that we're going to talk about next, and here's my goals here today, that when you're done with this, when we're done with this, that you'll be able to have enough information that if you're in a position to hire people, if you're an owner of a business, if you're a manager of a department, or if someday ultimately that's what you aspire to be and will become that you'll be able to take, if you will, take notes, and please do. I will give you enough information to where you won't have to hire a high-priced company such as my own, which would be awesome for you guys, right? Save you some money. So I would ask you to please take notes. I will give you enough information, and then, I will be here if you guys need anything, except there's a couple of you are already clients, so I'm going to keep taking your money. I'm sorry, Andy. But so you guys get nothing for free. But no, that's not true. Actually, there's some free stuff that I am going to give you guys, other than the information. But if you take notes, and that is my outcome and my goal, that you'll be able to go back and be able to do that. That's what we're going to do. We're going to go over the decision to hire, how to write an ad so it gets seen, where to place it, what to do after someone hires it, how do you onboard a person, and then hopefully how do you retain a person. If you got that information, would that be helpful for you and your dealerships or departments, yes or no? Yes. Say yes. This is kind of timely, right? I happen to be from Cleveland, Ohio. Everybody go, sorry about your luck. Originally. So a few years ago, LeBron James, the chosen one, the king, made a decision to leave Cleveland. Now that decision was on his own. The way that he made the decision was bad. Would you guys agree with that? Yes or no? Take away your feelings about LeBron James, whether you're a hater or a lover, but nationally broadcasting without telling the owner was a bad decision. Yes or no? His jersey got burned. Luckily, I collect a lot of sports memorabilia. I have in excess of 250,000 baseball cards, and I have a lot of LeBron James stuff signs. It's pretty pricey stuff. And my kid said, "Burn it, Dad." And I said, "Come on, guys. I'm not going to burn LeBron jerseys, LeBron stuff." But then, when he decided to, I'm coming home, he did it in an entirely different manner, did he not?
Yes.
And he got a lot of love. Not only from Cleveland, but he got it nationally, worldwide. A very well-written, heartfelt, "I'm coming home." The decision to hire is an interesting one in a car dealership, in my opinion. I'm sure that it does not happen in this room or in any of these departments, but over my experiences over the last, and I've been a consultant for over and beyond AutoMax Recruiting and Training and Recruitment HQ for over 20 years. And I'm sure it doesn't happen, you guys don't make decisions like this, but there's dealers that are not at meetings like this that when they call us on the phone to retain our services, and we ask them, "How many people do you need?" "Well, 3. "Well, how'd you arrive at that figure?" "Well, that's what we have 3 open desks. We have 3 offices." They call in and say, "Well, how many people do you need?" And they say 4. We say, "How'd you arrive at that figure?" "Well, that's what we normally run with. I'm down 2 guys." And I know again that none of you have made decisions in hiring like that, but just say that out loud inside your mind for a minute. I'm going to make my decisions based on how many offices or desks I have. Does that sound right out loud? I'm going to make my decision on how many people are hired when, based on that's what I normally run with. How's that worked out for you thus far? Just say it out loud. I know none of you do it, but how does it work out for you? Would it be a true statement that when you've been at your highest staffed, that's improper English, when you've had the most people in your dealership, have you not serviced and sold more automobiles? Yes or no? Say yes. Typically, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Troy, you and I talked last night. Dealer World's having its best year it's ever had. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Right. We talked last night outside the hotel before we came in. We talked about, and him and I have not talked about this, so hopefully I'm going to get the right answer.
I have no idea where this is going.
We talked about what? We didn't talk about your technology. We didn't talk about your process. We didn't talk about your promotion. What did we talk about?
The fact that I put my nuts on the line and hired more people.
People.
Staff our company bigger.
Right. What do you
And
not...
Scary, by the way, how scary that was. That's what you and I really talked about.
It is scary.
How scary that was. Right.
Right. Tracy, you and I talked on the phone a couple weeks ago about a lack of turnover in your dealership. And that's how you sell, that's how you make $500,000 gross a month in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. You don't turn your people over and over and over and over again. Has anyone ever flooded their floor? It's okay, raise your hand if you have. Flooded your floor. What happens when you flood your floor? Anybody, just yell it out. Say it again.
Increase in sales.
It increases sales, but at some point, what happens?
Demotivates everybody.
Decreases morale, yeah.
Right. The top guy's gone, right? The pie's cut up too much. There's an economic law called the law of diminishing return. I'm going to give you an example that I'm a pretty simple-minded guy, so it's like, but I'm not stupid either. But it's the only way that I can actually really try to get it across to people because it's a little tricky. But you must Google, at some point, the law of diminishing returns and learn it. It's an economic law. It's not a shoot from the hip, oh yeah, man, I feel like we need more people. Or I got an open desk. Or it's not what I normally run with, so I need a couple more. It has nothing to do with that. Or the formulas. The formulas kill me. Well, a salesperson can take care of 2.5 ups per day, blah, 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 blah. Or the BDC numbers totally tell me how they arrive at those numbers are really smoke and mirrors. The decision to hire should be based on a simple economic law, the law of diminishing return. There's 3 stages in that law. The first stage is that the input will increase your output. Let me give you an example. Let's say that we own an acre of land that has nothing on it. We're going to plant apple trees there. And I got no help. So I hire a young kid planting apple trees. First day he comes in, he plants 2 apple trees. That's cool. Now I got 2 apple trees. Day 2, he comes in, he brings a buddy with him. Says, my buddy needs a job. Can you put him on? Sure, I'll hire. So now I got 2 people. He plants 2 apple trees. So now I got 4 apple trees planted on the second day. You guys with me so far? Third day, they bring in another friend of theirs. So now he hires them. I got 3 guys who are both planting 2 apple trees a day. Next day, that goes on for a couple days. So I'm getting 6 apple trees a day. And it's like I'm going to sell these out. I'm going to have a lot of apples. I'm going to be selling some. This is good. A week later, they bring a 4th buddy in. Could you give them a job? Man, I keep every guy I hire gives me 2 more apple trees a day. So if I hire a 4th, I'm going to get how many? Anybody paying attention? 8, right? But now there's a little problem because there's not quite enough tools. Right? They're bumping into each a little bit. So the input now equals the output. So now maybe he plants 1 and the other 3 plant 2. So now I got 4 guys planting 7. They bring in another guy. And here's that 3rd stage, flooding the floor, where you run out of room. Morale, whoever said that, starts to go down the tank. And everyone starts to complain and, excuse my language, bitch about this, that, who ordered all these white cars. To relate it back to the car business. Management sucks, you're all stupid. And they stop planting trees, and only 1 or 2 get planted. Here's my point. In the automobile business, I don't think we push it to the point of that 3rd stage of the law of diminishing return. I don't think we do it. Please do not misunderstand this statement. Do not flood your floor, but push it to that point. Now, however, if in fact the law of diminishing return is a true economic law, and you as business owners or department heads only have a certain amount of space to work with, because we do, yes or no, and only a certain amount of hours to work within, yes or no. How long do we work our salesmen? How many hours a day? Anybody yell it out?
8, 10.
8, 10. Anybody got them on 12? Come on.
9 to 11.
9 to 11. Are we working 50, 60 hours a week? Yes or no? Okay, how's that working out for the last 80, 90 years? Right? We have 3 women in this room? 5? You want to know why there's not females in the automobile business? One of the reasons is 60 hours a week. All right, and I'm going to talk about diversity here in a little bit, but come on. So let's do this. let's take the law of diminishing return. We have a fixed situation, whether it be the size of the department, the size of our piece of property. Let's extend the hours of our operation, cut the hours of our existing staff, and hire more staff. Oh, Craig, that's going to take another manager. Yes, it will. And everybody in every dealership in this room has a person right now in their store that has manageritis that at some point in the relatively near future is going to leave you. Because they don't have an opportunity to grow at your store. Would you guys agree with that basically, yes or no?
Yes.
So add a shift. Break them into teams. Extend the hours of the operation of your dealership. So you're kind of taking that acre of land that you're planting apple trees on and you're adding like a second deck to it. Do you guys understand what you're building up? Do you guys understand what I mean, yes or no?
Yes.
Cut the number of hours that your salespeople are working, 42, 44 hours a week, like normal human beings. They'll be there when it's busier. The $100,000 a year automobile salesperson will work as many hours as it takes for him or her to make $100,000 a year. Right? But I want to keep people. I want to get different people into my dealership. Don't make your decisions based on the number of desks, what you normally run with, or I'm a couple short of what I usually have. Please stop doing that. It makes no sense. If you say it out loud, it makes no sense. I want to talk about help wanted ads. Duh. Please take notes. Years ago, and this is, things change in the car business in a flash anymore. Is that correct? You bet it does. Years ago, Monster Career Builder with the big bad dogs on the porch. Right? Everybody had a, who's got a resume? Yeah, that's okay. Who's got a resume on Monster Career Builder right now? Anybody? Right? How long has it been on there? Years? Right? Long time.
I haven't looked at it.
Long time. Is anyone using Career Builder or Monster to advertise when they look to hire people? What's an ad? What are you paying for an ad? $350, $400 for an ad posting. Okay, here's the way most people today, and the people, regardless of what my friend Jim Ziegler says, millennials are very important people, but we better get our heads around. They're coming into the workforce and they're buying things. They're not sitting in the parents' basement playing Xbox. They have disposable income and they're coming into the workforce. The way those people, and most of the people sitting in this room, including myself when I'm 63 years old, if I were to be looking for a job, what would I do? Anybody want to guess?
Got some friends.
I might do that. I would Google it. Right? What do you do when you want to know something? Google it. Right? I mean, it's like, just Google it. If you don't know the answer to something, just Google it. Most people, per white papers, per Indeed.com, Simply Hired, ZipRecruiter, have told me repeatedly on their white papers, Craig, people, Google it. Sales representative and the city and state that they live in, or where they want to work. That's how they're looking for jobs. They're not looking for jobs as much anymore through Career Builder and Monster. As a business owner that gets over a million resumes a year, we've ended our contractual agreements with both Monster and Career Builder.
That's a writer down. That's some serious numbers right there.
Right. Now, Craig, that's pretty scary to do. Well, I'm going to tell you guys how to get this done. First of all, your ad's got to be seen. And it starts with the title. I'm only going to talk about right now sales representatives, but this goes across anything. Tracy, what do you call your salespeople in your store? I forget. What are they called? Product specialists or?
Automotive solutions provider. Non-commissioned automotive solutions provider.
Right. Now, if you put that in the title of an ad, no one's going to see that. When you post an help wanted ad, you have to think this way. On that person's resume, what do they call themselves? Over to the left, previous job, what do they call themselves? A sales rep generally calls themselves a sales representative at Verizon, blah, 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 whatever. So, that's what they're going to be Googling. Does that make sense to you, yes or no? Say yes. Use the root word. Write that down. Not rep, representative. Not plural, because they're not searching sales representatives. They're not looking for jobs for a multiple of people. They're looking for jobs for whom? Themselves. So you use the root word representative, singular, not plural. Does everyone understand what I just said?
Yes.
All right, very simple, but it's the difference between your ad getting seen and not seen. It's no more complicated than that. Are you guys with me?
You said they use the plural or the
Singular. Even though you're looking for plural, you get them one at a time, because that's the way they're searching. Your title's very important. In anything it is. The next thing is the description of the ad. Data sometimes is a little tricky. And at conferences and events, we hear a lot of stats, and data and statistics are a little tricky. I can only pass on what I know and what I've been told by very smart people. Your help wanted ad, in terms of the number of characters that should be in it, is somewhere between 1,500 to 2,500 characters in length. Any less than that or any more than that, it's less likely to get seen than read. Something else you must write down. That title, sales representative, the sweet spot, the actual perfect word, is that those two words are used a total of 6 times in your help wanted ad. So you got it once in the title, then I would suggest 4 more times in the body or the description of the ad. Let me give you an example. We have found out that women that have worked at beauty salons would make a great sales representative here at ABC Motors. So you're going to want to use that word sales representative an additional 4 times in the body of the ad. Does everyone understand what I just said there? Then 1 more time in the tag words at the bottom. People forget to tag. You want to tag your help wanted ad just like you would a YouTube video or Google AdWords campaign or anything else. So pharmaceutical sales, sales representative, whatever you're looking for, former military, former military, former military, former military, former military. If you're not putting former military in all your help wanted ads, shame on you. Okay, for a number of different reasons. Okay, former military. Put it in your ad. 6 times. Everybody understand that? Again, that will help in your search. It will help your ad get seen. Because there's a lot of sales representative ads in your area that are being run, correct? Yes or no? So if you do all these things right, you're going to rank higher, they're going to see it, you're going to start with a higher funnel. Well, Craig, I don't want to deal with 100 people. We'll get to that here shortly. But if I'm you and I'm looking for 3 people, would you rather pick your 3 people that you're looking for or want to end up with from 30 or from 6? 30. Right? Simple math. All right, so I want to start with a lot, and I'm going to funnel it down to the winners. You know, I'm going to fire them before I ultimately hire them. Be descriptive in your ad. Be descriptive. Tell them why you work there. Tracy's dealership is family owned and operated. Tracy talks about entrepreneurs going back to his great-great-grandfather and then selling all kinds of stuff. But frankly, no disrespect to Tracy, to Frank, his dad, and so on and so forth, but the job seeker really doesn't care about that. Customer might, but the job seeker doesn't. What the job seeker wants to know about, if he's working for Kevin McCarthy, he wants to know why Kevin works there and what makes that Jeep place so awesome. Because you are passionate about the place that you work, yes or no? Yes. I mean, crazy passionate about it, right? Like more than like the top 5% in the country passionate about working there. If I'm you and you're looking for somebody, I'm meaning you, I'm in the ad. You're going to be working for me. Here's why I'm going to be awesome to work for. Here's why I want you. I desire you. I'm passionate about you working with me. I'm a servant leader, and I'm going to help you be successful. And the reason I work here and it's so awesome is because of this, and this. That's a whole point. Not high traffic, top comp plane in the area. High traffic to a job seeker must be a hard place to get in and out of. They have no idea what comp means. I get a free dinner if I play enough cards. What does that mean? Right? Makes sense? Put yourself in the ad. Does everyone understand what I mean by put yourself in the ad? They're working for you, Troy. You're a dealer world. Put yourself in the ad. They can care less about your company. They want to know who's running it. Who's steering the ship. That's who they're going to be working for. Where the heck should I place my ad? Right, that newspaper ad there is about 100 years old. You really study it, literally. But doesn't look much different from it.
No.
Who's got a dealer website? Okay. Michael, is web space valuable real estate on a dealer's website? That's a very loaded question. They can only be answered in yes. No, it's not important. It can be made not important, can it be? Who's got a career tab or a job tab on their dealer website? Tracy Myers, Tom. I think I've told you this 9 times. I'm not sure, but I think you've heard this before from me. Those of you that have the ability to, when you go back to your dealerships, get with your webmaster, whoever puts your website together, and put a career tab on your website. Those of you that already have it, this is what I want you to do. We're in New York. If I say trust me, that has a whole different meaning. So just do this. Just don't even argue with me about this. Just don't. When you get 1 million resumes a year, this stuff works. All right, I own 3 job boards. Your career tab needs to turn into a job board. PCG, do you guys have a career tab anywhere on your site? Okay. Callindeed.com. Ask for Matt. I'm going to make this really easy for you guys. Hold on, wait a minute. I'm sorry. Give me a second. I probably should. I'm not going to give you a cell. He'll go crazy. This is my rep at Indeed. Area code 203. They're in Connecticut. 653-4842. Does everyone have that number? Yes or no?
Do it again. That guy just got 41 lines.
203. Well, he's going to TO you. 203-653-4842. Tell them definitely tell them I told you. Not that I get anything, but that way he'll understand why you're calling. He will then put you in touch with probably Jason Munez, I'm not sure. But someone with Indeed will get with your webmaster or whoever hosts your site or whoever takes care of your website, whether it be you or somebody at the store, and will turn your career tab, your job tab, into a job board with very simple coding that literally takes 15 minutes. So now, here's what happens. When you go to post a job, you now post it to your website. Are you guys with me?
Yes.
All right? Now, here's where you can get awesome. Shoot a video. Hi, I'm Craig Lockard. I'm the general manager here at Awesome Epic Motors. And we're looking for a sales representative that's a people person, that loves people. And the reason I work here in Big River, I started here, I was a forklift operator. And last year I made $12 trillion. And my watch costs more than your car, and coffee's for frozen. And I own 9 companies.
That
Only a
the
couple people
IRS,
can get that.
that the IRS is aware of.
On and on. So now you got a video. All right? So here's what happens. So now you're linked to Indeed.com. You're not paying for job postings anymore. You're paying per click. So you give that job a budget. Whatever that job's worth to you. And you could, whatever it is. Let's say it's $500 at $1 a click. Just for simple math there. So what Indeed's going to do then, when they have that coding, they're going to come into your website, they're going to scrape, index, poll, they call it index. They're going to index that job from your website. They're going to post it as a sponsored job on Indeed.com, which is the most heavily trafficked job board in the world. Indeed has more traffic than any job board in the world. Simply Hired has more jobs than anyone in the world. But Indeed has more traffic. So I probably want to go where there's more traffic. So your job, somebody Googles sales representative in Charlotte, North Carolina. They see your ad, they click on it. Guess where it goes right back to? Your website. They see your video. It's embedded. You're not taking them away from your site. It's embedded. They click on it. Oh, wow, that's cool. They read your ad. Yeah, that's me. Click apply. Or what else could happen? What's the possibility of something happening? What could happen? They buy a car. They see somebody. While they're in there, they've applied for the job. They're on your site. Hey, dude, Tom, I know you were looking for a pickup. ABC Motors, I was in there, I'm looking for a job. I'm going to apply for a job. Apply for a job as a sales rep down there. They got that pickup that you're looking for down there. Could that happen? Yes or no? Could it? Does the possibility exist?
Yes.
Does the possibility exist more so if you did not do it? Yeah, of course.
But another thing, Craig, I think also to go on that thought is while after they look at the ad and see that thing, they're also going to go through what else is on your site to see what type of dealership you are. So you also have to think of other branding and what other things, your customer testimonials, because they're going to start looking at what you're, just like someone's going to buy a car from you, they're going to do research about you as a job, and if you don't have customer testimonials or why buy from me and all the rest of that, they may go, I'm out.
That deserves a, ooh, yes. Did you guys hear that? Okay? Awesome. You couldn't be more right.
Hey, Craig, just before you move on,
Yeah,
I'm waiting for you to mention Indeed. That works like crazy.
Works like crazy.
I heard you speak about that first maybe 2 years ago, I would guess. And, you, just like today, you said, listen, I'm going to tell you how to do it. Go do it.
Right.
And we've hired 3 people using that. I mean, there's no question that Indeed thing with that pay-per-click campaign, it's affordable. You can set the budget. You get apps like within sometimes 10 minutes from posting the job.
Correct. They scrape your, you can post a job to Indeed.
No, we post, but not this way.
Right. I would rather do it this way just because, It's going to create more traffic. Plus, you can get, when you do it this way, you get a real-time, you get all your data real-time on a, what's that called? Dashboard. Where you can see your number of clicks, number of impressions, your cost per click, what page you're averaging on, and your cost per application, which I'm most concerned about. What are these people costing me within my total budget to schedule an interview? It's very important. Next place I want you to, yeah, Robert.
What percent do you see that like, what's a good per applicant fee? Like, where should we do it?
Great question.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. It starts with the number of impressions. All right, and it's a little wacky because, you know, we're talking about a gazillion with us. But all the percentages hold true. You should have somewhere around, if you get 1.5% clicks as opposed to your total impressions, that's a really good job. Leave it alone. Anything 1.5% number of clicks as opposed to the number of impressions or up is a really good job. Don't change a thing. If it's lower than that, you should up your bid, your per click bid, or your total budget. Okay? The other very important numbers at the end, like I said, is the cost per application. When I spent literally millions of dollars with Career Builder over 10 years. And it was costing me about $10 or $11 per application. I'm at $2.38 per application with Indeed. Okay? So, that's a big difference. Something else I want to talk about here. It's very interesting. You guys hear a lot of ZipRecruiter commercials on radio?
Yeah.
ZipRecruiter's okay, but it's not, if they actually did what they said they do on the commercial, it would be really awesome, but they don't. But what they have is a product called Zip Alerts. It's a pay-per-click model that will search out applications based on the criteria from your Help Wanted ad. And they will actively pursue those passive and somewhat active job seekers. It's called Zip Alerts. You have to go with the ZipRecruiter program, which is, there's a couple different things, but it's a couple $100 a month. But with this Zip Alerts option, you'll be able to, technicians for one, it's a little easier to use to get texts. Now, texts are a whole other issue that we can talk about at some point, but for harder to get people, you would use something called Zip Alerts. Facebook ads, absolutely do it. It's cheap, geo-target it. You can really narrow down your audience, do it. LinkedIn is good if you're looking for executive hires. If you're looking for salespeople, forget it. It's a waste of time and money, in my opinion. You're way better off swinging that money to Indeed. But if you're looking for an executive management position, LinkedIn is one of the places you need it should be. Don't discount Craigslist. Really, don't discount it. Everybody poo-poos it, but and especially, it works especially well if you're in a paid area. If you're in an area where you're going to pay for the ad, like Charlotte's $25, I pay the $25 and repost that thing every 2 or 3 days. Okay? Aside from the video on your website, also have a standalone YouTube video with a link. Start with a live link in your description from your job, because your job will have a separate URL on your website. So you would want that live link, start your description with that, and then just copy and paste your whole ad content in the description, and then all the tags that you would use at the bottom to find what you're looking for, and then share it on your Google accounts, your Twitter accounts, Facebook, your fan page, wherever. All right, make sense? Any questions before I move on from there? Are we okay time-wise?
Yes.
Okay. How much time, money, energy do we spend about our BDC, Mindy? Right? I mean, the industry talks about BDC, BDRs in your BDC managers, BDC, incoming phone calls, scripts, how to get them right, number of calls, the percentages, yada, 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 yada. We're bombarded with this information. Yes or no? Say yes. Is it important? You bet it is. Because if you look back to that internet lead or that lead that's called your dealership quickly, maybe not the quickest, but quickly, whatever that means, in a more unique manner, whatever that means, you have a better chance of getting that customer into your dealership to potentially purchase a vehicle or a service. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah! We'll post a help wanted ad for anybody. They'll send in a resume and it'll sit in your Outlook for 4 days. Oh, man, I really should call that guy. Hey, you submitted an ad. Oh, did you? Where at? Oh, like right across the street from me? Okay, well, good luck with your new career. You got to treat that job applicant like you treat that internet lead, or better. You've got to get back to them now, because you are not the only place they're looking. You're not that cool. There are other cool places to work. You're not Apple. You're just not. So you got to get back to them quick, and you have to get it back to them in a unique way. What could a unique way be? Video, right? We use it in BDC in the internet department, yes or no? So why wouldn't we use it that way? We can't do it because we do it in such a large volume of people. But I have a call center in Albany, New York. We pick up the phone and call them. They immediately, automatically get an email that looks like a personalized email to them on a template, and then they get a phone call. Hey, we got your resume.
Basically just treat it like you would treat an internet lead.
Exactly. Maybe better. Because that internet lead's going to be good for what? $2,000 gross?
One deal.
That salesperson's going to be good for what? $250,000 gross a year?
Yeah, agreed. Better.
I mean,
Good hire is better.
if I got to go to somebody's house to hire him, if he's a tech, where do you live? I'll come and get you. Yeah, but my toolbox all loaded. Not a problem. You gotta get to them. You gotta get to them. Phone calls, very, very important. You gotta get to them. You gotta get to them. Do you guys have any questions on that before I move on? I'm gonna move on. Bad, shoot from the hip interviews equals a bad hire. Yeah, I'm not gonna go through the, go ahead and fog up the mirror and all that. But you know what I did for years, and I had the opportunity to run some big dealerships from a very young age. I would interview every single person based on their age, their sex, their race, how they were dressed. It was an entirely different interview for each person. Right? So, honey, are you married?
Yes.
So, does your husband know you're in here interviewing for a job to sell cars?
He does.
Does he? Really? Is he going to mind you getting hit on 15, 20 times a day? Huh?
He loves it.
He loves when you get hit on? My kind of guy. Do you have kids?
I do.
Really? Well, that's a problem. Who's going to watch them?
You're fine.
They're 5 and 7? So we just kind of put them on a chain and let them play in the backyard. Thanks for playing. Well, right? I mean, we change our interview to, you don't have to say it out loud, but think it. We change our interview based on the person sitting in front of us. You can't do that anymore. You have to have a scripted, word-for-word interview so you can differentiate, not judge, differentiate between each person that's applying for that position. Does that make sense to you, yes or no?
Yes.
Say yes. All right? It's the only way to do it. Now, if you want, we have one that's we think's awesome. Just card me up. We won't pitch you. I'll send you the interview. It's good for any sales position. We'll just send you the interview. But use it. Okay? In Free's position in the dealership, no matter what you're hiring for, have a written, scripted, never change it. Be in control. Who's in control of the sale? The person asking the question or answering the questions? Asking the questions. So if I have a scripted, written, controlled interview script, that who's in control of this thing? I am. I have less chance of making a bad hire, so I'm not hiring them dead. You guys do you understand that? Yes or no? Awesome. Also, hello. Tim?
Push the arrow button.
Also, let's talk about walk-in interviews and scheduled interviews. Automobile dealerships are very interesting places, correct? All right. Now you've done everything right up until this point. All right, you've made a decision based on the law of diminishing returns. You know you need people, and you know you've got a certain idea how many. You've titled your ad, you've written your ad, you've placed it properly. Everything's great. You've gotten back to that person to do what? Schedule an interview. Well, just come on down, right? We're on a BDC. Do we? Right? Well, just come on down. We don't do that. What do? Morning or afternoon? Afternoon. Really? 1:15 or 3:45? Which is best for it? 3:45. Great. Write down my name. Right? I mean, that's what we do, more or less, right? Why don't we do that? We're not doing that with a job. Just come on down. They come down. They go to the receptionist, right? Hi, welcome to ABC Motors. I'm here for the job. Good, have a seat. Hey, Greg, so-and-so's here. Okay, just tell me after if he's with him in a minute. How long does that take? How long is it there? Because what's happening in our world?
Selling cars, baby.
Selling cars. Might have a customer issue. Trade appraisal, got to locate a car, right? And that person sat out there for hours. Now, ultimately, what are they going to do? Leave. Who are they going to tell? Right? Have you lost potential customers trying to hire a person because you treated them like crap? Yes. Don't do that. But also, do not, for the same reason, take walk-ins. Schedule your interview so your head's straight and you have time, and give them the time to be respectful to that person. Now again, I'll go back to text. All bets are off when it comes to a technician. A technician, if you're running an ad for a tech and they walk in your store, you get their car keys, they go on the roof, and we're going to fight before they get out of my building. Because I'm letting him or her out of there. Right? And we're going to go get their toolbox. Guys, I want to go back. 2 real quick things. I'm sorry, I'm probably running. Am I long? Because I'm going to wrap it up here pretty quick. Let me give you a couple hooks. Andy's store blows my mind. And we recruited a person for Andy, 18-year-old kid, made, what did he make last month? $8 grand?
$8,600,
$8,600, 19 years old.
And he gets a demo.
He gets a demo.
He gets a free car too. So it's $8,600. He's got a free car.
Now, I don't know about all y'all, but most of you guys are like half my age. Well, when I get in the car business, it might have been the main reason, because I got a free car to drive. So it's like, wow, you're going to give me a car? Oh, okay, lie to people. That's cool. I'm in. That was a long time ago.
And Craig, you should mention too, I mean, there's an 18-year-old kid. What franchise?
Lincoln.
Wow.
He's 19 now.
All right.
Unbelievable.
Is that on that?
So, we don't have, with the exception of Andy's store, we don't have demos anymore to work with, right? Would everybody in the room like to hire college graduates, yes or no? Do you guys like to hire some, would you like some college grads regardless of the department? Then not, right? People coming out of college, what do they have? They have a degree, and they have debt, and no job. So how about a student loan repayment program? As a hook rather than a demo. You think you'll get some college grads? Put that in your ad? Can you figure that into your comp plan? Right? How much is that a month? $200, $300, $400, right? Is that meaningful to a person? 22, 23-year-old person I come out? You bet it is. Right? With technicians, move on real quick here. Go to, if you want master techs, A-techs, offer them a 4-day work week. It's in my opinion that if you got an A-tech or a master tech, they will turn the same number of hours in 4 days as they will in 5. They will not move their, if you offer a master tech, how are you going to get a master tech? You got to steal them, right? How much more, what are you going to pay a master tech? 25, 28, 30? Right? So if he's getting 28 an hour down the street, 30 miles away, you offer him $5 more an hour. Where does he go? Back to his boss, starts loading up his toolkit to come to your place. What's his boss say?
Where do you go?
I give you 31. Offer him a 4-day work week. He'll move his toolbox for 4 days. Because they want to fish, hunt, whatever, on the weekends. Make sense or not?
We went from a prospect master tech on a 5-day week to 130 on a 4-day week.
Is our clicker dead?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can try the arrows.
All right. That's okay. Next slide is a picture of a skeleton waiting in HR.
Oh,
Once
man.
you've made the decision, I'll email you the PowerPoint. Once you've made the decision to hire, there's absolutely zero reason why it takes a week to get someone to pee in a cup, run their background check, and get their DMV report. Tell me why, other than justification for that HR person being there on payroll, why there's a reason why that can't be done in 48 hours. There is no reason. Drug test, background check, DMV, 48 hours. Put them to work. Okay? It's a must. They will not wait 48 hours maximum, or you're going to lose that person. Period. End of story. Then onboard them. What do you mean, Craig? I want people that want to know company policy. The reason there's so much, one of the million reasons there's so much turnover in the automobile business, they don't know company policy and they're not trained. So I'm going to video my onboarding process. Each department head's going to run a video, right? Here's all the compliance issues in this department. Here's what you can do, here's what you can't do. Here's your comp plan, here's your benefits, blah, 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 on video. 10-question quiz. He or she watches it, answers the questions, goes in their file. They're onboarded. Make sense? Because you ain't never going to do it. You might think you're going to, but you're not going to do it. It's going to get shoved off to somebody else and they're not going to do it. The guy that goes and gets a donut, 6-car Sam's going to onboard your new employee. That's the next slide. Don't have 6-car Sam training people, turning them into 5-car Freds. Right? Andy, you're looking right now for one person you mentioned to me at lunch, correct?
Right.
All right. Hiring and training one person at a time in the sales department is tough, or BDC or whatever, it's tough. But I'm going to make a suggestion to you and anybody else in a position such as Andy. I'm going to hire that person. He is not going to follow around anybody in the dealership other than me. I'm going to train him or her from the top down. They're going to be attached to me at my hip. They're going to see deals being worked from my side, this side of the desk. They're going to go on to appraisal. They're going to see everything. from a management, from the general manager's point of view. Then they're going to spend a couple of days with the GSM. Then they're going to spend a day with the sales manager. Then they're going to spend a day in F&I. Then they're going to spend a day in the BDC, and they're going to make and take phone calls. Then I'm going to put them back in the service department. And that's how I'm going to onboard and train one salesperson. Any more than that, I'm only going to do one of two things. I'm going to hire an outside vendor to come in and train them. I'm going to show them a training platform with some buddies. Or I'm going to take the time out and I'm going to lock myself in a room for 40 hours with them and make sure that they're trained properly. Oh, I'm sorry. 5 more minutes?
Yes.
You sure?
Yeah.
You're not going to yell at me at
She
us?
just got here, she's after you, so.
Okay, awesome. Are you guys okay? Anybody totally bored yet? Okay, awesome. Millennials, Gen Ys, let's talk about diversity. When a friend of mine, I've told a couple of you this story privately, a friend of mine owned a Nissan dealership 5 minutes from my house. He called me up one Saturday. Hey, Craig, man, I'm having a terrible time. Now, this guy's worth, $1 trillion. I'm having a terrible time. Would you come over? I said, dude, it's Saturday. I don't work on Saturdays. No, would you come over? Okay. So I come over. He says, come on to my office. I said, no. Let's stand out here for a minute. 10 minutes. Now, this is a dealer, right? Dealers can't stand anywhere for 10 minutes. Sorry. You guys all have serious ADD. It's okay. I'm a business owner. I get it. So about 8 minutes into him, and just, Craig, what are we doing standing here? I said, just look around. About 8 minutes into it, he says, stop it. I don't have time to do this. I said, I want to look now. We're outside of Atlantic City, New Jersey. It was a Saturday. I said, look at your clients. Look at your sales force. I said, you do not have one 25 to 55-year-old white guy, a customer on your lot or in your showroom right now. Not one. Look at your sales department. They're all 25 to 55-year-old white guys. What's wrong with you, man? And he's Jewish. African American, Asian, female, Indian, Latino. Everything but white guys. All over his lot. You got no females. You got to be diverse. Like body from like. It's just a fact. It'll just happen. Your sales team, your dealership, I would be so bold to say, should mirror the diversity of your community. Does that make any sense to you at all? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Then why don't we do that? Why don't we do that? I would be so bold as to say it probably has a lot to do with our prejudices as managers or owners. And I think we have to get past that. I think we must become as diverse as the clientele that we're servicing. These Generation Y and millennials really got me messed up, Craig. Okay, just a quick story and then we'll line this up, I promise. It's been 2 years ago now. Got a call from a dealer friend of mine. I got a kid that went through one of your classes, Craig. I love him. We love him, but he's late every single day. I've got to blow this kid out. Would you talk to him? And I don't do this much. But the dealer's a really good friend of mine. I said, okay. Well, I'll talk to him and have him call me, right? So the kid calls me. I said, dude, I'm not going to paint any rosy picture here. You're on your way out. You're one more time away from being late. And I just made this up. The dealer didn't tell me this. I said, you're one more time being late, away from getting blown out of there. You need this job or what? Oh yeah, I need this job. I can't get blown out. What can I do? I said, well, let me ask you this. Why are you late to work every day? He said, well, I'm up till 4 o'clock in the morning. I said, well, dude, party times are on. Now I'm not partying. I'm working. I said, what are you working on? He said, well, I'm going to be a DJ. I want to be a recording artist, a record producer. all on the same way? No. So he's got this Mickey Mouse setup in his basement or somewhere in his house, and he's working on his craft, his real why, until 4 o'clock in the morning. Gets a couple hours sleep, then he comes, but he's dragging into work. I said, is that your real, what, is that what you really want to do? That's what I really want to do. I said, they have a real studio, how much is it going to cost you? He says $200,000. Very light on that amount. So I said, okay, let's use your figure of $200,000. How much money are you making right now on a job that you're probably going to lose here real shortly? He said, $2,500 a month. I said, how long is it going to take you to save $200,000 to be able to get your recording studio put together? He said, a long time. I said, you were right, man. It's never going to happen. I said, why don't you start getting to work and really commit to this? If that's your real why, make it a must to yourself, get to work, and let's start doing what you... And we had this motivational regret talk, right? Okay, so the end of the story is he starts making $8,000, $9,000 a month, right? 6, 7 months ago, I've lost track of time, dealer calls me. This kid has got promoted into the BDC as a man. He ain't going anywhere. Right? He's going to make 90 grand a year. Right? But the other, he could have left, right? He could have plowed all that money he started making into a fund to make some money to get his recording studio. Could that have happened? Yes or no?
Sure.
But if I get 2 years out of that kid, and I get 400 cars at $2 grand a car, $800,000 gross profit, is anybody willing to sign up for that right now?
Sure.
Because those are my customers. When he goes to get that recording studio, those are my customers. Find out your people's true why. And the last slide that's up there is this. It's about retention. You know, Jesus was a really, really good recruiter. And his retention rate was 92%. You know, I only lost one, and that was kind of a ringer. His dad threw it on him anyway. But it was all, he had no building. He had a terrible comp plan. But he had a culture. From the book, A Better Way to Live, by Og Mandino, rule number 10 goes like this. Beginning today, treat every person that you meet, friend or foe, loved one or stranger, as though they're going to be dead tonight at midnight. Extend to each person, no matter how trivial the contact might be, with all the love, dignity, respect, caring, and love that you can muster, expecting nothing back in return. Your life will never be the same. Oh, Craig, that's sweet. Let's all have a group hug. We're in the car business, man. Yeah, it's about time we change car business. It's about time that we start treating our employees like that, as though they're going to be dead tonight at midnight. And love on them. Love on them. Give them every opportunity. If they're willing and able, and they're not making it, look in the mirror. It's your fault. It's not theirs. Did you hire these people dead? Or have we killed them after we hired them? And now is where you clap.